Hello and welcome. I finally got round to seeing The Dark Knight Rises yesterday after having wanted to see it for a stupidly long time, and I thought I would give my thoughts about it. And what better accompaniment to that than a bit of Arkham City. Sorry, Arkham City gameplay, which you can see in the background. So I'll let that roll and I'll just talk over the top. Now, I'm a huge Batman fan. I've liked it since I was a little kid, not just the comics, the graphic novels, the animated series, and obviously Tim Burton's films, maybe not so much the embarrassing film of which I shall not speak, but you probably all know which one I'm talking about. And then obviously Christopher Nolan's Batman series has also been impeccable. So in general, I thought it was amazing. I was really pleased with how it turned out, and I think it was a really good close off to the whole Dark Knight trilogy, as it were. I've got a few bits and bobs around it I want to talk, especially the story. I think, for me personally, I think it was the best written story of the trilogy. I know a lot of people will say, "Oh no, The Dark Knight," which I think, yes, The Dark Knight was an amazing film, but I just think The Dark Knight Rises just had a bit more depth to it, and a bit more of a bit more complexity to it, which I really enjoyed personally.
That's the only way to find out who killed this man.
I think Bane as the big villain in it was incredible. I mean, Tom Hardy acted so amazingly well, and I think when you put a mask on a character in a film, you get one of two things. You either get the actor either takes it as a sort of, oh, I've got a mask on, you can't see my face, this is an easy role for me, or on the other hand, you can get it where the actor sees this as a challenge and has to put all of their thoughts and feelings and emotions through their eyes, through their speech, and puts more work into that to create a truly amazing character, which I think Tom Hardy did. I mean, just watching all of his emotions in just his eyes and his speech, I thought was just absolutely phenomenal. I think he is it was just an incredible performance. I mean, I was a little unsure about his voice to start off with, but then as it went on, I thought it really made it a unique character, rather than how a lot of people voice Bane in the sort of
take a look at the image that's just
hugely macho kind of voice.
It is.
And obviously, because he's the main bad guy, so to speak,
seems unlikely, but I'm not ruling anything
you
out.
get that obvious comparison with previous big villains from the previous films. Now, obviously, Heath Ledger's Joker is
Send me the full database
widely
entry for
considered as
Deadshot.
Like the best
I've uploaded everything
piece
I know
of
about
villainous
the victim.
acting ever, or so to speak. Which I agree with. I think it was a very good Joker. I just think a lot of people really overemphasize how much they like that character sort of thing. And I'm not saying he's bad. I think it was a genuinely amazing performance. But I mean, if you look back to the first Batman Begins, Cillian Murphy, he did an incredible job of Scarecrow, and I think his Scarecrow was just as good as Heath Ledger's Joker, in my opinion. And I think Bane did just as good a job with his character of Bane as the other two did with theirs, which is a pretty controversial opinion, I think, because a lot of people will totally disagree and say, "No, Tom, you're a flippin' idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Heath Ledger's a legend." But I think all three did equally as fantastic a job with their characters, bringing the essence of their characters onto the screen. The other contentious issue is Catwoman, which is, if I'm honest, the part of the film that let me down the most. I had my doubts since Hannah Hathaway was announced, because I just think her character and the character she normally plays she's just wrong for the role, which I think after seeing it I stand by, really. I mean, a lot of people have been saying, her they've really been surprised by her, which I was, if I'm honest. I was surprised and I was impressed, and she did a really good job of acting. But I would say she acted more of like as a villain sort of thing, as opposed to how Catwoman, in my eyes, is supposed to be, is a very ambiguous character. You've got that everything that happens, there's this, everything she does has this hidden layer of sort of sinisterness behind it, which I think Anne Hathaway just couldn't pull off in this film. I feel that if she wasn't playing Catwoman, she was just playing a thief or a villain, she'd be brilliant. But as it was Catwoman she was playing, she didn't have that threat level about her. She's just, you know, she's a princess. She's a princess role person. That's what I associate with her. You know, others might disagree, but you know, this is just my thoughts and opinions. So I didn't think it wasn't like a bad performance, and it didn't ruin the film. But I think it was just one of those things that, for me, just didn't quite reach. I thought Michael Caine's acting in this one, I mean throughout, you know, everything he does is just incredible. But I think in this film, the emotion of Alfred really came out in the way the story went through, which I genuinely found moving, especially when, you know, when he's talking to Bruce nearish the end of the film. I really felt that, and I really thought he did a very good job. What else? Oh, Talia. The twist in the story. Now, this is going to be a spoiler, so you might want to skip a few minutes ahead if you have not seen the film.
How much more did Joker
and
manage to
you
get off
care
the
about
island?
spoilers, but there was a bit in the film where they're talking about Bane being Ra's al Ghul's son, and that always struck me as weird. When I heard it, I was just like, no, that's wrong. That's fundamentally not true. Ra's al Ghul has a daughter, Talia al Ghul. How can this work? And then later on, obviously, the reveal is that Talia al Ghul is in the film, and she is the character played by Marion Cotillard, who again is phenomenal in the film. And when that reveal came towards the end, it just, I was so happy, because I thought that was a bit of a, you know, that was taking a bit too much of a liberty, if I'm honest, but it came out perfectly in the end. The only other thing I can say really is Robin confused, Blake's character, the character of Blake, confused me, whereas right at the end there was sort of this reveal that he's Robin, which I don't understand really. I mean, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, again, perfectly played through, brilliant, like everything is just amazing about this film. The actors were done perfectly. You know, obviously my only thing I wasn't too happy with was Catwoman, but I don't understand the Robin thing. It's the original Robin obviously is Dick Grayson, who was the acrobat from the circus. I don't see how that one really works out with his character, but you know, that could be then seen in the post Nolan Batman universe. So yeah, those were my opinions overall of the film. Please feel free to tell me what you thought down below, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.